final video in my short resilience series. And what I want to say to you is this. We talked about understanding resilience and what it looks like for us and what it means. We talked a bit about where we might be on the resilience scale right now and what might be influencing it. We talked about when to look at changing circumstances. We talked about when we have to accept circumstances and events, when we have to manage our emotions around our resilience in situations, and protecting ourselves from incoming missiles. But finally, what I want to say is this. I would recommend that each of us have a resilience action plan. I'm not going to talk about it in detail because this is something that I've got many videos about. You can check out my other YouTube videos and you will find one about resilience action planning. But I'll tell you this, it's simple. It's like having a set of traffic lights. Traffic lights tell us when to go, when to slow down, when to stop, and we have to do this with regard to our resilience. We have to understand and learn the signs of when in our lives, when are we at our best, when are we just going and we need to go slow, only as fast as the slowest part of our bodies feels able to go, and when do we need to stop? It's really important for us to recognise the signs. For example, it's really great to know when to be at our best. And it's really important to know what it looks like when that's sliding. I'd call that sliding into an amber. And by knowing what red, amber and green look like for us, it gives you the position where you can start to spot early warning signs. So my years of experience working in mental health has taught me about wellness and recovery action plans. And I guess this is what I'm talking about. A wellness and recovery action plan is called a WRAP for short. And it's about being able to stay well and stay resilient and stay in a place of recovery. And we all need to do that in our lives. What do you look like at your best? When you're green, good to go, with a fire in your belly, feeling strong and resilient, what does that look like? How are you behaving? What are you doing? What are you able to do because you're in a green? And secondly, what factors are influencing this in your life? What are you doing? What habits do you have? What supports are in place? What actions are you taking? I want you to also think a bit about what an amber looks like. What does it look like when you're not as good as you could be, but you're okay, but you're not at your best? What does it look like? What are the early signs that you might be not at green anymore? Sometimes it's very small and subtle things. Hard things for us to pick up, but often when we ask the people we love, who love us too and know as well, they can tell us those little signs where we're just not quite at our best, but we're okay. And these are the little signs we've got to look out for. And we have to think a little bit about those actions that keep us in a green. And when we get to amber, when you get to that point where you're not as good as you could be, you need to ask yourself, what have I stopped doing? What am I not doing that supports me when I'm in a green? Why am I in an amber right now? What's changed? Is it something about what I'm doing? Perhaps I'm not doing the things in my life that keep me topped up. Perhaps I've adopted some really unhealthy habits. Perhaps I've forgotten to look after myself. And also, what then you're in a position to know what to do about this. What do I need to do to get back to a green? And nip it in the bud, because you have to be very careful that when you're sliding into an amber, if you don't recognise those signs, or if you do recognise those signs but ignore them and continue without extra support and without healthier habits and without coping strategies in place, you're gonna hit red. And when you get to red, it will be inertia and you'll be at risk of having poor mental health, and we can't have this. I recommend that we all have a resilience action plan. It's possible for us all to influence our own resilience, and this is about the idea that being physically fit and strong is something that we all know and understand, but our ability to be mentally fit and strong and resilient is also within our control. So it's not really about what's happening in life, it's how we tackle it that matters. Life doesn't get any easier we just get stronger. But in order for that to happen, we have to flex our muscles and we have to train. And I'm inviting you to think a little bit more about how you can be resilient, not just physically, but mentally. So it's Polly Brennan for Adventures Coaching. Thanks for watching my video series. It's so important that we think about our resilience. So thank you for being on this wee journey with me.